am a lucky man to have had the honor and the privilege with full devotion to lead the men and women of the best law enforcement organization in the United States.
After nearly 10 years as chief and 28 years on the force, Madison Police Chief Noble Wray announces his retirement. We've got the latest on Chief Wray's departure. Breaking right now. 52-year-old Noble Wray has been a dedicated public servant in Madison now for more than half of his life.
Today, the chief laid out his reasons for leaving the force, explaining why now is the time to retire. News 3 is bringing you team coverage tonight of Wray's announcement. Theo Keith has reaction, and Danica Lewis has details on Chief Wray's difficult decision, and she's live at the Police Training Center on the east side for us tonight.
Well, Michelle and Eric, since last November, we've watched Chief Noble Wray navigate his way through 2 officer-involved shootings, both of them fatal, a very public resignation of one of those officers involved, and an internal investigation of his entire department for misconduct. But he told us today those are the reasons he stuck around, not why he's leaving the force.
I never thought that I would be this honored to be head of this organization.
After nearly 30 years of wearing a Madison uniform, Chief Noble Wray says he's fulfilling a promise to his family, and they were right there with him when he announced his retirement.
The time was not right. So I promised that I would continue to get this set of circumstances in a manageable position.
Wray told the press he was supposed to retire at the start of the year, but that departure was delayed when Paul Heenan was killed. Officer Heimsness investigated, and his entire staff checked for their conduct on the force.
There was a time back in the spring that I would go into my office, and there would be officers or be a command staff, and back in the early spring, people would go, what next? But I think people are starting to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Once the Police and Fire Commission accepted Heimsness's resignation, Wray decided it was time to retire. And despite the challenges, Wray says he's leaving a department with high morale and solid community ties.
It is time. Because I don't think I could ever, with how much of my blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this department, in this city, walking the streets, leading this organization, I don't think it would ever be an easy decision to do that.
Wray says he will be out of his office over at the department by late September, early October. He did express plans today to do some consulting work in the next 4 to 6 months to figure out what he'd like to do in the long term. Now, Assistant Chief Randy Gaber will take over as interim chief once Wray leaves.
All right, Danica reporting from the training center. Thank you very much.
Even after the past year's trouble, community leaders praised Wray's legacy. News 3's Theo Keith has that angle for us tonight.
Hi, Michelle. Going back to the 1980s here on the south side, and Noble Wray was working as one of the city's first community police officers in this area, in the Broadway Simpson Street area. It's a place that city leaders have credited with a turnaround over the past couple of decades. Now, fast forward 20 years to Wray being chief, and even with the problems of the past year, Leslie Howard of the United Way says not to overlook Wray's legacy of improving safety in the city. Meanwhile, Michael Johnson of the Boys and Girls Club credited Wray's upbringing, poor inner city Milwaukee, as helping as chief.
When we wanted a police officer at our Boys and Girls Club, he built an office and put a neighborhood police officer there. When we wanted to bridge a better relationship between young people and law enforcement officials, he found a way to make that happen by creating a youth police academy for both Black and Latino kids. And I think part of that is his own upbringing.
Mayor Paul Soglin was there today as well. Despite some of the internal investigations of the past several months, Soglin said he never lost confidence in Wray's ability to lead. In fact, when a reporter asked, what would you like to see out of the next chief? Soglin said, more of the same. We've been asking that question about what traits the next chief should have. We've been asking it today, and you'll see our story tonight at 10 o'clock. For now, back to you.
All right, look forward to it, Theo. Thanks. Chief Wray rose through the ranks of the department and was named chief in 2004.
And tonight, a look at some of the high points and some of the challenges. Upon Richard Williams' retirement in April 2004, then acting Chief Noble Wray was quickly thrown into the national limelight with the bizarre faked kidnapping case of UW student Audrey Sealer.
So we do not believe that there is a suspect at large, period.
6 months would pass before the job became permanent. The officer who worked his way up the ranks from Broadway Simpson neighborhood officer was now the chief.
It's been well worth the wait. I am honored to take over as chief of the city of Madison.
As chief, Wray helped orchestrate turnarounds of 2 costly, violence-laden street parties, the Mifflin Street Block Party and Halloween on State Street. Arrests reduced from hundreds to just a handful of citations.
We have a plan for policing the entire city.
Yet his tenure wasn't without its challenges. 2 high-profile murders remain unsolved. 22-year-old Kelly Nolan, last seen in Madison in 2007, and 21-year-old UW student Brittany Zimmerman, whose 2008 West Doty Street murder led to changes at the Dane County 911 Center.
There was evidence from the call that an officer should have been sent.
But perhaps no single event brought his department under more scrutiny than the November 2012 shooting of Paul Heenan by Madison officer Stephen Heimsness, which raised questions about the public's trust in the Madison PD.
And at times, we have those incidents that challenge our trust, and we have to be committed to rolling up our sleeves and working at it.
Now, Chief Wray, of course, filed a complaint to Fire Officer Heimsness before the officer agreed to resign. Again, Wray's retirement, as Danica said, will take effect in September or October.